We're going to find out what he's playing next, because game number 4 is getting underway. And Green Sheep, he's not fighting for himself in this match. He's fighting for Kranich. He needs to put losses on his opponent's side of the board so that Kranich is a better spot at the playoffs.
And I feel like Green Sheep maybe got Super JJ a little bit here this round.
Yeah, when he goes over to Grim Patron and puts a pretty convincing win on the board, Super JJ, I think, likely to swap to Druid to, balance out exactly what Green Sheep's trying to do. Obviously, he doesn't have a very clear read, so going with a more safe pick.
I like seeing this cam shot from Super JJ, too. This is like the clearest we've seen him all season long. He's not hiding in the corner, like in the dark. He's got some light on him and stuff. Get up here, man. Show off your pretty face.
Well, we know what you think of pretty faces, and what a great opening hand for Super JJ. Innervate with a Keeper of the Grove and a Piloted Shredder. I mean, either side of this matchup, he's not really worried about right now. We talk about how good Warlock is versus Druid. When Druid has the right tools, they win the game.
When they just have Innervate, you mean, in their opening hand?
Well, the Keeper of the Grove is a pretty keyword too. And then
great mulligan here for Green Sheep.
It's about as clean as it's going to get.
That's about as good as it gets. Yeah.
He's also, Green Sheep, I imagine he thinks his Voidwalker is not quite as good as the Flame Imp, but if he knew Super JJ's hand, he'd be feeling good about this one. Yeah. This is by the way, this should be a turn 1 Piloted Shredder into Wild Growth the next turn. Get something on the board to start moving the pieces right, and then follow up with the Keeper of the Grove. Instead, he's going to find himself slightly behind.
Yeah, I think I would have liked that myself as well, but we'll have to see if Super JJ has, some kind of plan for that. He even picks up Force of Nature Savage Roar already. Not the best time to have it.
Well, the plan is
played a little slow here, it looks like, yeah.
Yeah, the plan is that he's looking for a bigger turn with this Innervate, which I don't blame him for. When you have Force of Nature in your hand, it's such a good cleanup card versus this deck, so there is merits to holding with it. It's just, kind of, I look at this match and I go, if this one gets out of control, you're not recovering.
Yeah, I mean, look at how good Green Sheep's hand is going forward from here, too. He's going to be able to start life tapping plus doing a ton of stuff every turn.
This Power Overwhelming, pretty darn good in this spot. And if Super JJ doesn't find himself picking up a swipe, this one could very easily get out of control.
Yeah, just to be able to cleanly run his Imp Gang boss into here, just going to make a gigantic force hit here.
Look at Flame Imp and Nerubian Egg back behind this.
Yep.
And he's got Abusive Sergeant for the second Nerubian Egg.
I was about to say, he's got his Abusive Sergeant here for the second Nerubian Egg. It'll help him get through taunts and stuff. This is a great opening here for Green Sheep. Super JJ well behind the 8-ball here.
Yeah, what more could you possibly ask for? Look at this board state. Super JJ is
a swipe.
This is well, didn't expect that one. That's a pretty darn good one.
Now, there's some bad ones you can pick off here.
Yeah, the 1/1 is obviously a disaster. The Nerubian Egg, not good for Super JJ in terms of his board presence, but he's got to be feeling good about getting the second one off the Green Sheep side of the board.
Taking it away from Green Sheep is the real win here.
Now, something else that's happening too now is that this Nerubian Egg becomes good with the Savage Roar here.
Yeah, he can actually use Savage Roar to attack with it. That way he doesn't have to do something like Keeper of the Grove his own Nerubian Egg, because that's not what you want to be doing.
I think it's what he's considering this turn too, is maybe Keeper of the Groving it.
He might just be Keeper of the Groving like the Flame Imp here as well. Just, get some damage off the board. He's at 27 and facing down a ton of damage here, and he can use the Savage Roar next turn if he wants.
So Green Sheep was looking good, but Mind Control Tech is an extremely strong card versus this matchup. There's a small swing in the board, but any swing is really enough.
And this is where this deck gets really dangerous. Green Sheep's going to be able to weave in hero powers almost every turn for the rest of the game because he's not the one under pressure here. So his life total, pure resource from here.
Yep. So juggles. Doesn't want to get too many of them.
Yeah, doesn't want to accidentally pick off the Nerubian Egg and do Super JJ's work for him.
Yep.
You can see Green Sheep still kind of controlled this board a little bit as well.
Yeah, this is the benefit he has, is that every single time that he does something like this, Super JJ is the one who has to answer this cleanly. So if he doesn't have a swipe, or he doesn't have a very good Force of Nature turn, that's where he's finding his benefit.
Yeah, and the reason you're seeing Green Sheep do this is, again, he's going to get to draw so many extra cards over the span of this game. He's going to eventually run Super JJ out of resources, plus he has an implosion behind this.
Yeah, I feel like this is a Savage Roar turn.
He has to take care of this Knife Juggler.
Yeah, it's so dangerous to be letting them have that much extra damage.
Yeah, if you just Druid of the Claws to taunt up here, it's going to be a big turn from Green Sheep.
Yeah, that's the one that could get ugly. So
yeah. Green Sheep will just run one of his minions in and then just Implosion.
You can't know that he has Implosion though.
Yeah, of course, is the last card in his hand, Implosion, but Super JJ is going to think of all of the permutations here because he cannot afford to lose. So much pressure on him.
This is actually a really tough turn.
Oh, for sure. Because if you Force of Nature, what do you even do here? You have to run 2 of them into the Taunter. What's the other minion you attack?
The other problem too is if you Savage Roar and kill the Knife Juggler with the Nerubian Egg, it's already contested by the 4/2 and the 2/2 ones. It's just a miserable spot.
Yeah, it looks like it might just be the best play.
No, but I think it's what he's got to do. He just tried to alleviate board pressure and keep his life total under control, really. If he gets to a late game spot where he's playing his 7 drops and playing his, potentially 8 and 9 drops, that's how he's going to win this game.
Well, and here it is again. He's going to be able to life tap if he wants his turn because Abusive Sergeant will allow him to trade up his first Abusive Sergeant. Wow. Ooh, maybe he might change his mind here.
Yeah, I think this is Abusive Sergeant on the Imp Game boss here. Oh, I'm incorrect.
This just plays around Swipe a tiny bit better.
Yeah, I think it's totally fine. And Void Terror on the Abusive Sergeant.
Yeah, leaving any minion in play is great no matter what. Obviously, it's just the correct play, but when you have stuff like Power Overwhelming in your deck, it's very important to do so.
Another tough spot for Super JJ. He's got multiple options, and Force of Nature is going to have to be his first one.
Yeah, actually, it seems really good here, actually, taking your Void Terror and then a Rubian.
This is perfect, too, because the way that Green Sheep's hand has panned out, he's been holding onto this card for a couple turns now. It's pretty darn likely that it's Implosion.
Super JJ just turned this entire game around. What a great turn for him. Now, there's some really insane top decks for Green Sheep here as well. Just Dr. Boom.
Yeah.
Yeah, just any of his charge effects. Like, there's a bunch. There's the Dr. Boom.
Oh, my
Every time
gosh.
we bring it up, Nathan, every time you say a card, it just comes into their hand.
Is a huge draw right now.
Look at the clap from Super JJ. He knows that might have just killed his season.
That's just outright unlucky. I mean, Super JJ fought this game so darn well. His deck is quite literally built to be able to fight this matchup, and then this draw happens. Green Sheep hasn't been getting lucky all season, so I kind of feel for him in this spot. Eventually you're going to have to get lucky, but to see this happen right now this is all closest to heartbreaking.
Yeah, and this Implosion, I mean, there's no bad effects here. I mean, yeah, he's going to have to run his
bomb. The 2 is
there.
actually better here because he gets a chance to kill the Shaded Naxxramas.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's actually actively good for him here. And just play the Void Caller. I mean, Super JJ is dead. There's no out.
He has to rip Big Game Hunter.
If he doesn't not even Big Game Hunter really gets him in this game. I mean, none of these things get anything done.
No way to check this Dr. Boom. And Super J, he rightfully so upset about this one. Green Sheep had literally 1 draw to get the Dr. Boom right here and pull this game out. But
well, Wrath, that doesn't keep him alive, does it?
No, it's got nothing to do. Green Sheep puts his 3rd win on the board in this match and adds another win to his belt right now. But the big winner in this one, honestly, is Kranich in this match. He's now one step closer to actually putting himself ahead.